Here we go. All right, let's take a quick peek at lesson 9. I'll buy that tulip. I'll buy that house for 3 tulips. Take a quick gander. Okay, what European countries suffer the most from tulip mania? That would be the Netherlands. B. The point where the amount supplied and the amount demanded are the same is A. Market equilibrium. That's why you get the price you have at the store. Buyers are always strive to pay C. Less than the current price. They're buyers. They want to pay less. An insufficient amount or supply is known as C. Scarcity. Not enough of it. And A. To restrict to limited allotments. Amounts given out. That's the definition of rationing. All right? Answer complete sentences. What sorts of information do prices provide? We said scarcity, popularity, cost of production, cost of transportation. There may be a few others, but those are the biggies. What sorts of incentives do prices give? Okay. We talked about a number of things, incentives. If the price is low, people are going to buy. But we didn't talk about the seller's end, and I want you guys to make sure you understand that if the price goes down, people will demand more, okay? Your favorite frozen pizza that mom likes to get, it's $12. It goes on sale 2 for $10. Mom ordinarily gets 1 a week. Mom might buy 4 this week. Demand's gonna go up because the price has gone way down. So that's the buying side of it. The selling side of it is if the price goes way up, so all of a sudden, some hot celebrity in Hollywood says, "Oh, this is my favorite frozen pizza," and all of a sudden everybody wants them. So the seller says, "Well, they were $12.50. Let's make them $19." And if they can do that and sell them, they will make more. So as the price goes up, the seller will make more of those. Okay, why can't people have absolutely everything they want? Because everything in creation is scarce. Everything is scarce. It doesn't mean there's not a lot of it. It just means there's not an unlimited supply of it. Is cable television a good deal? Explain. And the answer is it depends. The way it was worded in there is, remember Simon Moneybags, not a problem. If you're a multi-gazillionaire and they want to charge you $1 million a month for your cable, and you say, "I'd like to watch TV," fine. It's a good deal for you if that's what you like. If you're somebody that's making, $32,000 a year and it's $1,000 a month, it's not a good deal. You're not going to do that. So it depends on the person, the situation. Do you even watch TV? Or are you one of those sad little people they find on street corners shaking in the sewer and going, "I got to score some TikTok, man. I got to get my TikTok." Okay. All right, let's see here. And then why do businesses advertise their prices on television? What I actually was looking at was to attract customers and to make money. Some people said, because lots of people watch television, that's perfectly acceptable, that's perfectly logical. Not exactly the way I meant the question, but it makes perfect sense. If you read a question a different way and I can understand what you were talking about, that's always going to be fine. Okay, I'm going to pass out some more papers, so we're shutting you guys down for just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wednesday Hunt. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages at home, understand that what's happening is the timing for the quiz, which is online for this one, is the start of the class period. Therefore, if you were in Washington, your class, hang on, don't pull out your computers yet, your quiz just released on Google Classroom. If it is another class, it won't release until later when that class starts. I just did it by grouping, so unfortunately, if you are in Madison, I think that's 1:45 this afternoon, that's when you would have yours drop down. Okay, cool. Yes, sir. Yeah, let's turn them around. Here we go. Quit your infernal whining. The world is in the midst of a crisis. Incidentally, that's the most overused word in the English language nowadays. We have a crisis. There's a crisis in education. Well, they said it's a crisis since like 1942. Okay, if you're going on like your 80th year in your crisis, it's not really a crisis, because a crisis means it's something that has to be dealt with right now. A crisis is Omar just fell down a well. If we don't get him out in the next 3 minutes, Omar will be dead. That's a crisis, okay? Well, there's a crisis here. Due to bad weather, there will be a very small grape crop this year. How bad could this be? Let's examine the problem. Make a list below of the uses of grapes. List them out there, guys. What do we use grapes for? Guys, no, not general conversation. No, don't look. List down, what are the uses of grapes? What can people do with grapes?
Where's Gustav?
He's at home. I can't remember, I think his sister's ill, so he's gonna stay at home, but I just don't remember. Sawyer, right, don't sit there and ignore, right. What are the uses of grapes? You must be able to come up with some uses of grapes. Really? I only see two? Come on.
Food and wine.
Okay, here we go. Now, I want you to go down to the next question. It says, now list the use of grape byproducts. Don't be afraid to look this up. But hey, I'll check. Oh, look it up. Look it up. What's the byproduct?
I don't.
I don't want to get an education. Okay, we're gonna pause this for a second. So, so give you an example of a byproduct. So Tanvi is gonna have a beef ranch. She's got a ranch where she's raising cattle for meat. Meat is what she wants. However, she's got to take the wrapper off the cow. So she takes the skin off, and does she throw that away? No. What she does is she sells that to a tannery, and leather is made as a byproduct of raising meat. Okay, what else do you have? You take the hooves and make what? Why don't Muslims eat this?
Chicken wings.
Jello?
Jello. Yeah, they make gelatin with it. Okay. They don't actually do that with Jello anymore, but there are some gelatins that do, which is why Muslims don't eat Jello. Is considered a nasty thing, but gelatin made from animals, from what they would consider dirty animals, which makes perfect sense. Hi.
Would you like me to list my grape byproducts?
Why don't you give me two of your grape products, or two of your uses for grapes.
Hummus.
Hummus?
Yes. No, the one that's spelled P-O-M-A-C-E.
What is that?
I think it's like a food.
Of food?
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Give me another one.
Seeds.
Seeds, grape seeds, because we all enjoy a good bowl of grape seeds.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Wait a minute, wine and jam. Okay, give me two more.
Wait.
Yep, for grapes, use for grapes.
Vinegar and juice.
Vinegar and juice. Eat it. And what was the other one?
Smoothies.
Smoothies. Okay, what else, Claire? Raisins, yeah.
Jelly. White grape jelly.
Okay, yeah, jelly. Yeah, okay. Do you have your hands where?
Jellies and gems.
I had like
all of them.
Good. Have you got a byproduct for us? Have you got a byproduct? Okay. Anybody byproducts? Omar, give me one.
Sweet.
Wait, what?
I don't know how to pronounce this. Sweet, B-A-G-A-S-S. Yeah.
Baguette.
Sweet baguettes?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure grapes are used as an ingredient
No,
there.
it's like, it's B-A-G-A-S-S-E.
Or
Oh, yes, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, no, I don't want you to get on the computer. No, close the computers down. You can look up byproduct. I didn't want you to get all your answers from this. Don't make me think. Don't do it. Oh. And do what? Make leather with the skin. Okay, well, I don't know. Sorry? Sure, go ahead.
I bet you there's something you can do with the vines.
With what?
With the vines.
With the vines. What a great one. You guys ever go to craft shows? See those like wreaths and decorations made with woven grapevines? Vines? They also make baskets with them. Yes, that's an excellent
Whoa.
noise. Okay, Halal? Well, that's just, working with grapes, but yeah, okay, some seeds for,
yes.
what do you call them, not crop seeds, I can't think of the word.
You could make the seeds into seed oil.
Seeds.
Make the seeds into seed oil, okay? All right, cool. Let's flip over to the next page. Did you remember grape juice? How about raisins? How about fruit drinks whose ingredients include grape juice? Frozen juice bars, wine, jelly, fructose. You had to come up with fructose, this is the sugar. Okay, but you did a great job of that. This grape harvest will leave the world with a greater, we are going, right?
Yeah.
We'll leave the world with a greater scarcity of grapes. Scarcity occurs, remember that bold word is what I want you to understand. The italics is the explanation of the definition. Scarcity occurs when people want more than the present supply of something. Examples of scarcity include 4 middle school boys and 1 small pizza, or the women's room at any public building during an intermission. Okay, the girls can relate to that.
So
You can tell that mostly men design big public buildings, because otherwise women wouldn't have a line of 35 people to use the bathroom. Okay, with only a small supply of grapes, it won't be possible to make all of these products in the same quantities as last year. The question is, which one or ones shall we cut back on? Different individuals will have different answers. Again, luckily that no one individual decides how our resources can be used. The market does. Because there's always scarcity, there must also be choices about the use of resources. If you have only 1 hour, will you study or talk on the phone? You guys won't talk on the phone, but we'll text, TikTok again, okay? If you have only $1, will you save it all or will you save something or spend it all? If you have only 1 bicycle, would you lend it to a friend? And here's a biggie, if you have the ball, will you pass it?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm too scared. I get freaked out.
All right. One more characteristic goes with scarcity, and that is price. The sum of money asked or given for something. The more scarce something becomes, the higher its price will be. Drinking water costs a few dollars each month because it's so plentiful. Filtered spring water is harder to come by. Oh, would you please make that D-U or D-Y? Sorry. Harder to come by. And so can command dollars a bottle. After a flood, hurricane, or other natural disaster, drinkable water is very rare and will be sold for a great number of dollars. Okay, I always think that's kind of funny when they say, oh, price gouging, price gouging. Let's suppose there's been a tornado in some area. Barterville, Wisconsin, had a huge tornado, wiped out the town. And they couldn't get fresh water in there. So what happens if somebody says, well, I'm gonna go rent the U-Haul and I'm gonna buy gallons and gallons and gallons of clean water here for $1 a bottle. And then I'm gonna drive out to Barneveld and I'm gonna sell them for $15 a gallon. You might say, that's sickening. Those poor people having to pay that. That's price gouging, that's evil. Let's look at it the other way. If I don't drive out there, baby doesn't get her bottle because there's nothing to mix the formula with. Mom got hurt in the tornado, so there's no, breastfeed or anything. This is just all about we need the formula or baby goes hungry. One or the other. Would I, as a dad, be happy to pay $15 for a gallon of water so that I could feed my baby?
Yeah.
Yes, the kids have got cuts. We need some clean water to clean them off. Am I happy to pay $15 a gallon?
Yeah.
It's scarce. I don't have any other choice. If the city can turn the water back on and get it to me pure, that'll be wonderful. But until they can do that, maybe my car got crushed by a tree. I can't drive over to Madison, which would be a close big city. I can't do it. So my choices are pay 15 or don't have any water. I'll pay 15. Yes, sir.
Okay, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So the first thing is, just a hurricane.
Remember you're being graded here? What?
So,
It was a tornado.
I know, yes, right. If there's a tornado, why, so,
Why would it interfere with the water?
no, not that, like, why wouldn't they just go like closer to like Milwaukee area for water or something like that?
Well, when there was a huge tornado in Barneville some years back, I actually went up there and helped cut up trees just to get people through the roads and everything. I mean, the roads were blocked. You couldn't drive out of Barneville. Some houses were badly damaged. They couldn't use their plumbing. And they couldn't go anywhere else. You can't get to your car. You can't go closer to Milwaukee. And for example, it was another teacher here, Bob Bear, and I. He had a couple of power saws, and we went up there and we just helped cut up some trees. We took the firewood. I think people were very, very happy to let us, cut the down trees out of their yard in exchange, hey, yeah, take the wood away, are you kidding, this is great for us. So that was a happy thing for both of us. He got a great big trailer full of firewood, and they got the yards for that. But there was, if somebody closer to Barneville had gone, that would be great, that would be easier for them, but they didn't, we did. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Describe something that you personally have seen which is quite scarce and therefore quite expensive. Not something you saw on YouTube, you have personally seen it. You have looked right at it. No, write it down, write it down. Put pen to paper. Something you've seen, which is quite scarce and therefore quite expensive. Think. Chloe, think. 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 No, it's not a group chat. Riley, you got one?
Yeah.
What, huh?
I saw a red panda in the zoo.
There you go, a red panda. There's not a lot of those running around. Okay, Omar.
An almost full T-Rex skeleton.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got a little bone here, a bone there, but an almost full T-Rex skeleton, very rare.
The hand sanitizer.
What?
The hand sanitizer.
What hand sanitizer? They're all over the place. I will go along with a couple of months ago, antibacterial soap. You can buy all kinds of hand soap, but not antibacterial. It's really hard to find. Sawyer?
A full roll of toilet paper in summer last year.
The summer last year, yep, full toilet paper. Emily?
Drumsticks without nuts. Oh yeah, they're so good.
Okay, you mean like the ice cream cones, eh?
Uh-huh.
Drumsticks without nuts, right? Yes, ma'am. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Like when Coke first started, all like the disinfectant wipes were like that.
Yeah, all the disinfectant wipes way back when. Jamesy?
Daniel Shaw. There was only one. So I was gonna say Annalise.
Daniel Chod, because there's only one, but we don't actually buy and sell human beings.
That's
Well,
if you
but
put
they're
them in
adopted.
adoption. I mean, we
All right.
kind of do.
Shh.
We kind of do.
Yes, sir.
These are on cream switches.
What are they?
Cream switches.
What's a cream switch?
It's like what you put on a key.
Okay, all right. Claire?
My own sneakers, because I searched them up like, I don't know, 9 months later, and like they were like really high priced.
What kind of sneaker?
Adidas.
Adidas, okay. All right, all those things, yes, sir?
In New Jersey when I was 6, there was a hurricane. Okay, and the prices for all like the groceries were like really high.
Yeah, groceries, when there's a hurricane, when there's something that stops deliveries from happening, yes?
When a new type of shoe comes out, typically like they're gone really quickly.
Yeah, when they're first hitting the market, and there aren't that many of them there, they're scarce. All right, cool. Look at the next page. Describe something that you personally have seen which is so plentiful it's free or almost free. Something which you personally have seen. Write it down, write it down. Something which you personally have seen, not you read about, you heard about, something which you personally have seen, which is so plentiful it's free or almost free. Oh, there are all kinds of things. Come on, dear.
Oh, I got two.
Okay, Chloe Bear, give me one.
Mine aren't good.
Just give me one. Come on.
First I was gonna say candy, but like that's kind of like weird.
Candy, no, you gotta pay for
And then I
candy.
was gonna.
Oh, go ahead, what was the
And then I
other?
was gonna say like if something's like 1 cent, it's like basically.
But I can't say something, it's what I wanna know is the thing.
Socks, sometimes.
Socks you think are nearly free? No, no, you pick socks. Claire,
Rocks and sand.
shh, guys, what?
Rocks and sand.
Rocks and sand. Okay, now if you go to buy decorative rocks, that can be expensive, but just you wanna bend over and pick up a rock, they're pretty cheap, okay? Sand also, again, if it's purified super beach or sandbox sand or something, you might pay something for it. But if you just run over to the beach and grab a handful, it's just about free. Sawyer? Air. Yes, air is one of the biggies, but I want to draw a line here. There's a difference between just air and clean air. We pay millions or billions of dollars every year to make sure we can breathe here. Again, run over to the capital of India, the capital of China, and take a deep breath and see if you live through it. Okay, because not the same kind of pollution standards. I mean, other than that. What?
Grass. Grass.
I was gonna say.
Grass.
Grass, okay. And again, a really nice lawn costs something to keep up and all. Hello?
Like there's like that huge box where they have like the little tiny.
How much are they? Okay, they're not charging you a whole lot for a huge box of light up dinosaurs.
What you have?
I know.
Like,
What? No, we're not doing human beings. Come on, Omar.
A piece of old dirty plastic.
A piece of old dirty plastic, and you know, you're right. Interesting story though. You know, it's funny how sometimes people will think, oh, it's just trash and have no use for it. There was a guy who had his house kind of butt up against, actually it was his business, kind of butt up against a railroad track, and they made deliveries there, and they brought them in on those wooden pallets. You know what I'm talking about? Like those things that a forklift can pick up. It's just a square that they put big heavy things on, and then they pick it up and move it around. And eventually when they unload it, there's just this wooden square left. That's a pallet. Well, they were just throwing the pallets out back, and he went over there and said, yeah, you know, my guys that are working here sometimes have some free time. Want me to get rid of those pallets for you? And the guy that's over in the other business said, yeah, you know, you can take some of those, not a problem. We got way too many of them. They're just junk to us. So he actually took them apart and had his people in their spare time make birdhouses out of them. And he sold those for quite a bit of money. And so he was taking somebody's junk and actually turning it into money. Yes, ma'am. Pencil lead, no, you gotta pay for pencil lead, although when it's put in, I mean, when you think about it, how inexpensive is a pencil? And it's already got the wood, it's already got the metal fennel, and it's already got the, new word for you. It's already got the eraser on there, so yeah, the lead itself isn't a whole great big expense.
I might be wrong.
Give it a shot. The worst you can be is wrong. Come on.
Just say it. The bucket outside by the bench.
The what?
The bucket outside by the bench.
The bucket? No, those cost a few bucks to get those.
I just
Sorry? Go ahead, yes.
The wonderful trees.
Well, you know, trees, when you buy them, if you want to buy the crabapple trees that get really pretty or something, you know, that can set you back a lot of money. But if you just own a wooded area and trees keep growing up and more trees, you're not paying a whole lot to get them to go. They're just coming. All right, two more, Talal. Wood in some cases, again, if you live near a forest area, you can walk out and you know, pick up some dead branches and there you go. Emily?
There was this time we went to Florida and I went to the beach and it was like covered in sea glass.
Okay, all right. Sea glass in? Yeah, absolutely, good. All right, in a free market, the uses that people value the least will be given up. Consumers decide this. In light of the grape shortage, shall we give up fruit drinks, fructose, grape juice, juice bars, or jelly? Maybe we should just learn to live with less and quit whining. Using lessons in real life. In the 1970s, a group of oil-producing nations decided to stop selling as much oil and so created scarcity in order to raise the price. Because oil became so expensive, people were forced to decide how the oil they were able to buy would be used. One unhappy result was a tightening of the gasoline market. Americans had to get used to lines at filling stations and even some limited rationing. You could only buy gas depending on the last digit in your license plate. If it was an odd number, you could buy gas on odd days. If it was an even number, you could buy gas on even numbered days, and you couldn't buy gas any other time. It became obvious that without oil, we would not have the same supply of gasoline for cars and trucks, plastics, asphalts, lubricants, and other petroleum-based products. More than 20 years later, fear of another serious oil scarcity weighed heavily in the decision to use American combat troops in the Persian Gulf. Okay, yes, sir, question.
So it was like, you said that if the license plate last number was even or odd, what if they had a custom name?
People didn't back then for the most part. I mean, I think you had to have a number in it, even if you did. Question? Okay, it's downloaded on your computer. Again, it's just 10 questions. Do them, let me have them as soon as possible, people at home. Thanks, son, you can press stop.